morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, today we need to talk law, specifically elections in Kenya. And I promise you, by the time we're done, you'll fully understand this whole debate about when elections are supposed to be held in Kenya, according to the Constitution.
Piki piki ponki pakamielo disco.
Yeah, that is Willis Otieno, a well-known constitutional lawyer in Kenya. And did you know, if Jimmy Wanjigi had successfully made it to the ballot in 2022, Willis Otieno's name would have appeared right there on the ballot papers as his running mate. Interesting, right? But that's not our focus for today. What does the Constitution say?
The second thing I want to say, and I want to invite Kenyans.
Now, according to Willis Otieno, Article 136(2) of the 2010 Kenyan Constitution clearly states that an election of the president shall be held on the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year. Sounds simple, right? Okay, now, I want us to take just a few seconds and listen to what Willis Otieno actually said.
The second thing I want to say, and I want to invite Kenyans to do for me the math. You know, if you go by our Constitution, it provides that a presidential election should be held on the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. The 5th year.
After the previous
general elections. The 5th year. The second Tuesday of August of the 5th year. Not after 5 years. It talks of the 5th year. So I want to invite fellow citizens to answer the question, when is the 5th year from the date of the last election? The last general election was held on the 9th of August 2022. Tell me, when is the 5th year? When does the 5th year begin? The 5th year, according to my own summation, begins on the 10th of August 2026.
Next year.
That's when the 5th year begins. That's when it begins.
Is Willis Otieno right? Ladies and gentlemen, Willis Otieno is inviting us to reason together. And to be honest, his interpretation is partly correct. We all agree, and even me, I agree, that elections should be held on the second Tuesday of August every 5th year. Now, here's where things get tricky. Willis Otieno says we should count from the date of the last election. Meaning, if elections were held on 9th of August 2022, then the 5th year starts 10th of August 2026. But wait, is that really how it works? The answer is no. Let me explain why. How do we actually count these 5 years? Now pay close attention here, because I've seen people struggling with this debate on X, formerly Twitter, but today I'm breaking it down for you, step by step. First, you need to understand something critical. Nowhere in the 2010 Constitution does it say that a president must serve a full 5 years in office. Surprised? Yes, but it's true. So, which legal framework has Kenya been using to conduct previous elections? Why haven't they always been exactly 5 years after the last date of voting, as Willis suggests? Well, here's the catch. It's not about the date, it's about the calendar year. The Constitution talks about years, not dates. Let's get this clear. The framers of the 2010 Constitution meant calendar years. A calendar year runs from January to December, not from one August to the next August. So if the last election was held on 9th of August 2022, that's still within the 2022 calendar year. The first calendar year of that government starts in January 2023. Now follow this. January 2023. First year, January 2024. Second year, January 2025. Third year, January 2026. Fourth year, January 2027. Fifth year. And remember, the Constitution says the election should happen in the 5th year on the second Tuesday of August. So the correct date for the next general election is August 2027, not August 2026. You see, the Constitution doesn't operate like a payroll system. It doesn't care how many days or months a president has served. It works with calendar years. Think of it this way. When you're elected in August, the system marks that year as 0. When January comes, that's year 1. The next January, year 2. And just like that, we count all the way to the 5th year. When that 5th January hits, we are officially in election territory. Not because your 5-year contract is ending, but because the Constitution's calendar says so. So, dear viewers, this is how I see it. And this is the logical, constitutional, and legal interpretation. But what are your thoughts? Drop your comments below. Let's reason together like Willis Otieno invited us to. If you want to debate this matter directly with me, no problem. Hit me up on 0727332865. And don't forget the coffee. Now let's get back to Willis Otieno, because he made yet another interesting reference to the 2013 election under President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's listen in to what he said.
And to tell you that this interpretation of the law is the correct one.
Yeah.
In 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta did not serve a 5-year term.
From 2013.
From 2013 March
Oh yeah. To
until 2017
August.
He did not serve a full 5-year term. The elections were held before 5 years lapsed. It is because we were calculating the 5th year, the second Tuesday of August of the 5th year.
Yeah.
It is only this 2022 that somebody misled us to believe that we don't have to count the 5th year. We should have had the election in
2021 August.
Yes.
All right, let's break this one down.
I, Uhuru Kenyatta.
You see, the 2013 general election wasn't just postponed for the sake of politics. It was a legal, constitutional, and strategic move. Why? Because of the birth of the 2010 Constitution. This new Constitution introduced major changes like devolution, a completely overhauled judiciary, and a new electoral body, the IEBC. And because of these reforms, the country needed a smooth, lawful transition. This is where the famous case came in, Kriya and others v. Attorney General and IEBC, 2012. In this ruling, the Supreme Court of Kenya decided that the next general election wouldn't happen 5 years after the last election date, but 5 years after Parliament was sworn in, which happened on March 15, 2008. So, according to that ruling, the election was scheduled for March 2013, not 2012. It was a one-time exception. That delay acted as a legal buffer, a way for the country to settle into the new constitutional order without chaos. It wasn't about extending anyone's term illegally or a political backroom deal. It was a necessary move under the law. Now here's where it gets interesting. After the 2013 election, Kenya immediately returned to its normal constitutional timeline, as dictated by Article 136(2)(a), which clearly states, "The election of the president shall be held on the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year." And true to this, look at what happened. August 8, 2017, elections were held August 9, 2022. Elections were held perfectly in line with the Constitution. And with that, we've come to the end of today's deep dive. If you've learned something new, or you now see this issue more clearly than before, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you'll always be the first to catch videos like this one. From me here, it's goodbye. See you in the next one.